Good morning from Boya, the monument of reunification. So we are taking some digesting and soaking into the moment and the space and the landmarks in this place. Here we are at the reunification monument. So I wanted to share a bit of the essence and the sense of what I shared yesterday when I had the opportunity to present, teach, or share, pour out into 700 pastors. Yeah, that was a huge privilege to do that as a layman or laywoman or layperson to the clergy. And one thing in essence, and I think this morning it kept coming back to my spirit, is there's this general pattern that we all have, is we want to be doing, to do, whereas psychology, I don't know if you read, some of you read Atomic Habits, it's Atomic Habits, right? Yeah, by James Clear. He speaks about how tech uses, how technology works, how even these tech gurus, they use psychology to keep us addicted to these platforms, and how he does a lot of philosophy or psychology of behavior change. And Google it if you want, but it says this: you change starts with identity change. It doesn't start with task change. So in a sense, it's your identity that helps you to respect the systems that you put in your life in order to achieve your goals. So there's a difference between saying I want to read 10 books and becoming a reader, because a reader will always read. Or I want to run 10 kilometers versus becoming a runner, because a runner will always run. So our focus should constantly be on developing the being someone, and from the being now you will be doing. And so I noticed something. Usually after a presentation, there are two types of people who come after to me. Two types. You know, I take time to actually prepare my presentations. The one that I did last night, it was about 6 hours to do like a very nice visual and explanation and the patterns and all that. I think at least 6 hours, at least, a very least. And after the presentation, there are people who, they were touched, inspired, moved, and they want what they felt that you have. But then people will look, there are two types of people. Those who will want your doing, and then those who want your being. I don't know if you see what I mean. So there are people who come and they'll say, hey, can I have your presentation? Which is okay. I give my presentation everywhere. And then those who will be, hey, I want to remain in contact with you. The being, right? It's because it's the being that did the doing. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. It is the being that did the doing. It is the being that developed the presentation. It is the being that poured out into the presentation. But then sometimes there are two people. Those who will focus on the doing because they also want to do what you're doing, and those who will focus on the being because they want to be with the person. So interestingly enough, that's also the message of Christ. And that's how people come to Jesus, actually. And that's how I was able to see that connection even with this secular concept, if you can call it secular concept, and Christ, is that a lot of people come to Christ, to Jesus, because of his doings, right? Signs, miracles, healings, what he can do. And the people don't realize that the person who can do is more important and more interesting to be with the person who can do than to look for the doing. It's better to look for the being, Christ himself, Jesus Christ himself. And so I also link those two. those two thoughts. And it's also a thought for us, a place of reflection, right? Are you attracted to Jesus Christ? Are you pulled to him or dedicated to him because of his doing, right? Because of his title, or because you like him, or because of the results he can bring to your life, or what he did already? Or you desire Jesus because of who he is, his being, not just his doing. Because one of our pastors once said, when there was a jeweler, Pastor Dennis called him, he said there was a jeweler, the guy was doing jewelry, and women came into his store and they were looking for jewelry, and they started choosing all the different jewelry that they wanted. 5 different women. The 5th woman came and she said, I don't want the jewel, I want the jeweler. In a sense, she said, I don't want the product, I want the person who is doing the product. Because once you have the person who's doing the product, you can have those products over and over and over and over and over again. I don't want the doer, I want the being. I don't want the doing, I want the being. I don't want the person who is the acts or the products, the results. I want the person who does the acts, the results. So that's a reminder also of the importance of seeking Christ, Jesus, for who he is. For who he is. And not only for what he does. All right, have a great weekend, and lots of love. Bye.